Alright, so we're gonna be reviewing some of these mechanically stabilized earth walls, and I freaking love these things. This to me is a feat, a modern marvel of engineering that is basically playing off of history. I mean, it's amazing what this technology can do, and it's so effing simple. So let's just dive into it and check it out. We've got some masonry units that are stacked up on top of each other, and they're holding back all the soil. What I want you to notice is this fabric. Yeah, this is called what I think is a geotechnical fabric. And this fabric actually goes all the way back into the hillside here. And what we do is, as we stack these, we put this fabric and compact the soil underneath the fabric and then on top of the fabric. As the hill puts weight vertically down like a normal force, most hills will eventually want to slide, especially if that soil is loose. But that geotechnical fabric, and because the way it's compacted and designed, that downward pressure is actually yanking it backwards into the hill. And it's just fucking brilliant. We're gonna take a closer look at some of this stuff, and there are some failures here where they should have done something, they didn't do it. Let's just go check it out. So this is that fabric again, and you know, this is not necessarily a bad thing that you got this stuff sticking out. I mean, it's just somebody did a quick and dirty job, and when somebody does a quick and dirty job, I mean, you can see it throughout. You know, once you turn up one rock and find something, you're gonna turn up other rocks. And the one thing that I noticed, and you can look all the way up and down, is that there's no drainage system. And there needs to be some type of piping system that allows the water that collects under or behind this from creating a back pressure. I mean, water will always find a way to go to the path of least resistance. And I mean, either the water's gonna leak out randomly and draw the salts out with it, or it could start pushing out or cracking or causing the masonry units to crack or push out. These are those masonry units, those puzzle pieces that I was talking about before. And what's going on here is they're being stacked on top of each other, and that geotechnical fabric is being, you know, it is compressed by the masonry units, but you also have these puzzle pieces, and you have the opposite of this on the other side of the masonry unit, and they kind of sandwich and lock that geotechnical fabric in place. Okay, so wanted to quickly stop and talk about this real quick. This is a replacement that a company just did of this section right here, and we had a customer call us up and said, something's wrong with my concrete, it's all white. This is a white pigment sealer that contractors who work for the city or the county or the state have to use. It's governed by either ASTM C309 or ASTM C1315, which is a membrane forming curing compound. And it's supposed to have an evaporation rate less than, it's either 0.55 kilograms per meter squared for 309 and then 0.42 kilograms per meter squared. And again, that's to stop the surface cracking and mapping and crazing and then dusting. Okay, so we had to stop. So this wall is pretty freaking interesting. You know, I said it before, you need some drainage, and they do have drainage ports. I mean, you can see one over there. There's one over there. Some gentleman or person didn't put them in the right spots, and you can see that salt yanking through again. I mean, that water wants to find a way, and that water normally goes to the soil, and the soil takes salts with it or alkalis with it. And you see that yellow, whitish, I mean, that's the salt that's being left behind by the water. And the worst part is, these aren't even those blocks before that are stacked up against each other that the holes come through it. I mean, these have been, you know, there's mortar. I mean, they have stopped the path of water from going through, and that water is always going to find a way. That's pretty freaking awesome. There must have been some cracks that allow that salt and water to get through. Gosh. All you had to do was put some freaking drain pipes lower, man. Now, maybe I'm wrong here, but this kind of looks like it's pushing out. And that's what happens when you don't get proper drainage. And again, it could be wrong, but it looks like that wall was meant to be a little further back, actually up top. And they even more, you can see the mortar breaking up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't have proper drainage, eventually what this thing can do is fall.